One day, all this will be over. The war to end all wars will be won. By one side or the other.
When it comes to World War I, there isn't too many games that cover this subject. Most of us thought, yeah, World War I, trenches, poor living conditions, and no man's land. It's often a war that's overlooked. Too muddy, too complex to create into a game. Most developers choose to go down the World War II route, but then.
Moving, gas! Taking objective apples.
First aid, use it.
We had Battlefield 1. But you see, Battlefield 1 wasn't just a first-person shooter. This wasn't just about kill streaks and weapon camos. This was something else entirely. An experience of pure blood, grit, chaos, and showing the brutality of World War I. Which is why in this video, I will be breaking down in points on why Battlefield 1 was not a game, but instead a dark experience of war. Number 1. The first test. When initially starting the campaign, you are greeted with these brief descriptions about the First World War, and then all of a sudden, you see this. Okay, not expected to survive? I'll be fine. In no time at all, you are stuck amongst the mayhem and carnage in this battle where you are witnessing the desperation of your soldiers trying to hold the line. You are introduced to new close combat in the Battlefield series. It's just a huge eye-opener. And for the first time in Battlefield's history, and just gaming history, for me especially, you keep dying, but as different people. No matter how hard you try and fight back, you eventually fall. It's weird because I had never played a campaign where my first objective in the opening mission is to survive, and that's it. But straight away as you respawn as the new soldier, you are seeing new scenarios each time. You are part of the tank crew, a machine gunner, an armoured trooper, it's just mental. That's literally the only word I can think of to describe it. All around you, you have so many things going on, like the airship coming down, the gas being thrown, the artillery barrage. And that set the tone going forward. Number 2. Psychological battles. Not many games go into the depth of war in terms of what it does to a soldier who before doing their national service was just a normal person like you and me. When playing the campaign mode, there are several moments where this is portrayed and you cannot help but feel empathy and sympathy for these people because truly, these men did not know what they were getting into at the time. And it shows. The first being in the opening mission where you advance across no man's land in the tank, but for a brief moment you stop. If you look to your left, you will see a German soldier wandering back, not rushing or running like the others in his squad. You can see he looks deflated, tired, defeated, and has given up on everything.
Welcome
When I first saw this, it hit me like a brick because I can't remember the last time a game showed me this type of emotion in a soldier. Another example is in the Italian and Austro-Hungarian War, where once the planes bomb the rocks on the mountains to make them tumble down on the troops, you have to search for your missing brother. But as you are looking, you come across a bunker where you can hear a soldier breaking down, crying and talking to himself. It's just off-putting. But do you want to know something was even creepier? If you leave the bunker and return back, that soldier isn't there. Creepy. And you also have this guy who is having a mental breakdown. This wasn't just soldiers. This was also made to play with your mind too. Have you ever noticed how when you shoot a flamethrower, it sounds like a ghastly scream once it explodes? This is psychological. It's not just what you see around you with other people, but it's also what you are seeing and hearing in your own perspective. The voice lines in this game are probably one of the best and most well executed lines in a game for a long time. When you hear stuff like this,
They're coming! They're coming! Bitte! Helf mir! Das ist doch Martin! Mama! Salva mi Mama!
it makes the game feel haunted. It's like you're there because the passion and the authenticity in these voices just makes you feel like this is real. Number 3, where beauty becomes a battlefield. BF1 had undoubtedly the best maps in the franchise. The way that they were designed, the size, the different weather settings, it was great. But another reason why the maps are so good is because you get to see the huge contrast of amazing natural beauty and the breathtaking landscapes to then see in a map later on in another game show the complete opposite. For example, you can go from playing Soissons, which is showing you the endless fields filled with flowers, small lakes, picturesque houses, to then Verdun Heights, where it literally feels like you're in hell on Earth. All you can see is the forest on fire in the distance, smoke in the sky. Even the colour grading is just darker and has a more brutal tone. The developers done their research for the map design, and obviously in real life it was 10 times worse. But they've done a pretty good job portraying the death and destruction in this map, considering Verdun was one of the deadliest battles for the French in World War I, with over 400,000 casualties. That's insane. This is also the same with Rupture, where you have the red poppy fields, birds tweeting and blue skies, to then all of a sudden you're now in Passchendaele, surrounded by mud, rain and green gas is visible everywhere you look. It's just fascinating how we as people ended up fighting in some of the most beautiful locations on Earth. Monte Grappa is another example. It's almost like we are fighting on another planet, because who would have thought we would be fighting so high up in the mountains of Italy? This wasn't just in multiplayer. In the campaign Through Mud and Blood, when your tank is stuck in mud and you have the enemy getting closer and then trying to enter your tank, it is all panic stations inside. Eventually, your commander tells you to send the pigeon to deliver the message back to the artillery squad.
Edwards! Release the pigeon! That is an order, son! Do you understand me?
Just for a moment, you are playing as a pigeon, flying over no man's land, but the pigeon doesn't know that. It's just peacefully flying back to its home, clueless as to what is happening in the world right now. The music, the softness, all whilst hell is breaking loose underneath the bird, it just leaves you with a weird feeling like, how can humans do this to one another. It's powerful stuff. Number 4. Operations. This game mode was new to Battlefield, and oh boy, this made you feel like you were a cog in a machine. Not only was this chucking you in the deep end of immense combat with 64 players in total, it also gave you a picture and a rundown of the battles you'll be fighting in. At the start,
The noise, the smoke. The most tremendous cannonade I've ever heard. Swept round us in a white curve of red leaping flame, quite unending in either direction.
as well as the end, giving you the history of what happened and what could have happened if the other side had won the battle.
Victory for the Ottomans in the Middle East would have been seen as a sign of renewed strength in the ailing empire. If so, the power gained from controlling the world's oil supply would almost certainly have seen the Ottoman government abandoning their support of the Central Powers.
Knowing the backstory and actual history about these battles, it made you feel like you were a part of history. It was so good. I've never been more engaged with a multiplayer mode before, and sometimes a full operations match from start to finish could last a few hours, and time flew by because how involved you were in it. Even with the waves of attacks, the reinforcements, the desperate measures you and your team went to right at the end to either capture the objective or defend it like your life depended on it, it was by far the best multiplayer experience to date in the Battlefield series. There was also another key element which made this game more of a haunting experience rather than just a regular first-person shooter. Number 5. The soundtrack. A soundtrack can really make an impact on a game, and it very quickly can make a game stand out from the rest, and that was the case here. On the loading screens, in between matches and rounds, you'll get different soundtracks as you load up, but some of these are creepy. We have this one. And this one. But also ones which make you reflect, and you end up just zoning out, thinking about what these people went through. And that's what this masterpiece done. Battlefield 1 made you feel like you were right there in history. It's honestly a masterpiece, a work of art. And for a game which took the risk and went ahead with the World War I setting, it paid off big time. Knowing that people still play Battlefield 1 9 years later with full servers still running, it goes to show you that this left a mark on most people. Battlefield 1 was not a game. It was an experience, a journey which showcased the horrors of the Great War and how it changed nothing. Absolutely incredible. What things made Battlefield 1 stand out to you guys the most? If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to drop a like and a comment, and to be kept up to date with future videos, make sure you subscribe. Thank you for watching. Cheerio.